Yo, what's up, y'all? What's going on, y'all? Good afternoon. I was gonna say good morning, but good afternoon to everybody. What's up with y'all? Yo, so I just wanted to go live real quick. I don't have a lot of time today, and I didn't want to wait till I got back to the crib to talk about this whole Remy and Papoose. I'm driving around. I'm going on about my day, and it is just, something you just got to get something off your chest. You just want to talk about something, and I wanted to talk about it because, y'all have heard me talk about Remy in the past. You've heard me talk about Remy. I don't like her. I don't care for her. I've always thought that she epitomized ghetto, hood, for the streets. Like, I'm just not a fan of Remy Ma. And I'll talk about some of those reasons why. But one of the things that we got to do before we get into anything is understand that you need to be careful with who you lay down with as a woman. Now, I'm talking to the ladies right now, and I'm talking to the fellas. But specifically, if you have sex with somebody, and I don't need to tell y'all this, but if you sleep with somebody, there is a strong possibility that that person, male or female, could be the mother of your child or the father of your child. And so we really have to be careful with who you even take that step with. Now, if you look at this whole drama that's unfolding, Remy Ma and Papoose have a child together. You know what I mean? They have a child. They have a little girl who is one day going to grow up and see the drama, that she's going to see these old lives, the videos, the messages, the back and forth. She's going to see that and be like, wow, this is the type of dysfunction that I was brought into. This is the type of dysfunction that my mother has brought to my father and my father has brought to my mom. We as viewers are watching it for entertainment. But at the end of the day, that's the most important person, is that little girl. And so that's where I want to start off with, is just putting that out there. Stop complaining about your baby dad. You picked him. We hear so many men talking about, my baby mom is this, she's that. You picked her. You chose to hit that raw. You chose to ejaculate inside of her. You know what I mean? Ladies, you chose to let that man run up in you. You know what I'm saying? Knowing darn well he didn't have a condom on, and now you want to complain that he's a deadbeat. Well, he didn't want you to begin with. I say that all the time. He didn't want you to begin with. So he's not going to want the child. He's not going to want the child because he didn't want you. Now, is that right? No, but go see Judge Mathis. Go to, freaking child support court, wherever you got to go. But I'm trying to help y'all avoid before it even gets to that point. Stop. See, we're in a society now where everybody wants to date and date and date and date and date and have sex and sex and sex and sex and sex. Nowadays, we're in a state of society where where sex is a part of dating. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, how many people do you know that are dating but are not having sex? Over in the Friends of the Date October show group, I posted, I asked a question the other day, and I was actually surprised a little bit by the responses. I asked the ladies, I said, hey, how many women are in this group are single and practicing celibacy, right? And it was like a lot of responses. It's like 30, 40 comments. I'm like, whoa, what's going on out here? You know what I'm saying? I was a little shocked by that, and I was talking to, I was a little surprised. I knew there were a few. I knew there were some. I was surprised at how many it was and how open people were with talking about their celibacy journey. Nowadays, sex is just out there. Everybody's having sex. Everybody's having sex. And I want to encourage you. This is not in the group. I'm doing this live on my main page right now. But if you are watching this and you are single and celibate, add yourselves to the group. Go to that discussion thread and share your journey, share your story, share your testimony. Because there's a lot of women out there who are having sex, who don't want to be having sex. They don't want to be getting ran through. So share that with them, encourage them. And that's why I did that. Cause you go to some of these other groups, these worldly groups, It's like everything's about sex. So I just wanted to point that out for a second, man. So my point is, don't allow sex to dictate the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Remy and Papoose are going to be tied together in that drama for the next, really forever, because they have a child together. So stop letting these dudes smash raw, ladies. Men, stop running up in these women, busting nuts all up inside them. Just don't do that. That is how you avoid this type of drama. That's the first step. So now let's get back into the Remy and Papoose thing. And I want to start from the beginning, because a lot of y'all are not really looking at it from the beginning. Papoose should have never even dealt with her to begin with. How many of y'all saw that video of Remy on the phone on video with Nicki Minaj before she was Nicki Minaj? Back when Nicki Minaj and Remy were lesbians, dealing with each other. The videos are, just Google it. Just Google Remy and Nicki on live back when Nicki was a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? And that whole situation. And Nicki was on there. Now she's super feminine, all this other stuff. But back then she was talking like a dude, acting like a dude, and you know she called Remy, and Remy knew she was being recorded, so she hung up real fast. But I want to go back to that. Papoose should have saw that and be like, nah, bro, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay. Of all these women out here, I'm one of the nicest lyricists out here. I can do better than than Remy Ma. Let me tell you something. Any man can do better than Remy Ma. If you, as a man, think Remy Ma is the best you can do, it's crazy, because I think of so many people who are on this whole black love thing. I'm just looking like, what? Are y'all serious? People 15 years ago used to hit me up like, oh my God, aren't you so happy for Papoose and Remy? I used to look at them like, what? I said, this day is coming. I said, fast forward 15 years, this day will be here where I'm in this car sitting here doing this live, telling y'all why they broke up. Who remembers that? I used to do shows to talk about this stuff. Y'all heard me talk about Remy for all these years. She was never no epitome of black love. She is the epitome of who not to fall in love with. That's who she is. So no, I am not surprised that all this drama is happening, because she is for the streets. She shot her best friend. Okay, that's why she went to jail. She shot her best friend in the stomach, and she bragged about it. She has made songs, or maybe Papoose wrote these songs. I don't know who wrote. You know, he's saying he wrote her lyrics, but she shot someone who was close to her, and did not care about it over from what I understand, a monetary debt. $1,000, $500, whatever it was, over money. She shot somebody, and she went to jail for what, 6-7 years? Now, this is where we got to get into it. Papoose, everybody is saying, oh wow, Papoose is this great guy. He held her down for all these years. He was there at the prison every day, and he was doing this, and I'm sure he was. Okay? I'm sure he was. But this is where we have to go back into the archives of the Dedan Tolbert Show, the original urban podcast, and y'all really have to apply some of this knowledge I've been giving y'all over these last 20 years, and you guys got to understand, if you are a woman like Remy Ma, if you are a woman like Beyonce, if you are a woman like Nicki Minaj, like any of these other women out here, you are not going to have a man that is going to be faithful to you. Only a fool would deal with a woman. Cardi B, add her to the list. Do you think someone's really going to be faithful to Cardi B? Like, let's just be honest. Like, come on, man. You think someone was really faithful to Remy Ma, who's sitting up in jail? You think he's not out here enjoying the fruits of his labor? Not because he's a dog, not because men can't keep it in their pants, but because she's Remy Ma. because she acts how she acts. Have you ever heard her talk? Have you ever heard her speak? If you have a bad attitude like that, no man on the planet is going to want to be with you, nor are they going to be faithful to you. I've been telling y'all this whole time, the only way to attract a great man and to keep a great man is to what? To have a great personality. Remy Ma not only does she not have the best personality, she has one of the worst personalities of any woman I've ever seen. She talks like a dude. She acts like a dude. Look how she's carrying on right now. No one wants to be with her. So no, Papoose did not, hit the jackpot when he married Remy Ma. Remy Ma. No, they did not have black love. Somebody said, hey, have you ever seen that show on OWN, Black Love, and Remy Ma and Papoose? I'm like, I'm not watching that crap. All those people are going to be divorced soon. They're going to be cussing each other out soon. And guess what? Shocker. Dedan Tolbert was right. Oh my goodness. Like, come on, man. Y'all are waiting for me to talk about who's right or who's wrong. Or, whose side are you on? This isn't about sides. I'm on the child's side. I'm on the side of getting her better parents. See, people talk about how how divorce is wrong and God doesn't like divorce, but y'all gotta understand, many people, y'all talking to someone who does life coaching, marriage counseling, all this. I do all that. I've been doing it, but I have to tell some people that some of y'all shouldn't even be together to begin with. You should have never even had sex with them, let alone got married to that person, having a baby with that person. Remy Ma and Papoose fall into that category. They should have never dealt with it. I don't know what Papoose was thinking, to be honest with you, man. I've never dealt with a woman like Remy Ma, ever. Anyone who knows me knows any woman you've ever seen me with has been like some type of wife material. No ghetto hood rat type weave wearing, excessive makeup, shooting chicks in the stuff. Like, none of that. And I'm just talking to the men right now. It's like, fellas, man, if you consider yourself a real dude, stop dealing with these hood rats, man. Stop. You know what I mean? But let's move on. So what? And I talked about this, almost a year ago? I talked about this a year ago on the show, and I was talking about the dude, Easy the Block Captain. And I was highly critical of Papoose. Because my whole thing about it is this. I was saying Papoose was looking crazy because there were rumors and the streets were saying that Remy was cheating with Easy the Block Captain. That's the battle rap dude that she was dealing with. And I was saying this, a year ago, a year and a half ago, y'all heard me. I was like, bro, this is your wife. There are rumors that your wife is cheating, having sex with Easy the Block Captain. This is a known thing. Easy the Block Captain is putting your name and her name in his raps, bragging about having sex with your wife. This is what the streets are saying. So I'm looking at it like, yo, bro, you're looking crazy out here. I said, so look, if you're with her, right, then you need to dispel those rumors and say, hey, this is just a rumor. This is not true. I love her. She loves me. We're faithful to each other. If you are not with her, you need to come out and take a stand and say, yo, bro, whatever she does is what she does. I'm not with her. We're broke up. We're separated. All that black love stuff is out the window. She can do her. I'm going to do me. I've been doing me. Cool. That's what you should have done a year and a half ago when I said it. But now, you know what I'm saying? Now you're looking crazy. And here's the thing. He came out on the live today and was like, yo, I heard the rumors. I asked her about the rumors. But then we went to counseling. I'm looking like, what? You went, so wait. I said, wait, let me get this straight. You know that she's having sex with Easy the Block Captain. You confront Easy the Block Captain. Y'all have a fight. You knock him out, supposedly, allegedly. You knock him out for sleeping with your wife. And then you go back to be with your wife. What kind of weird crap is that? What kind of weird crap is that? Why confront the dude and then stay with the chick? Why are you fighting over a woman that another dude smashed? That makes no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy to me, actually. But he chose to stay. That's his decision. But that black love stuff that's dead. That's over with. Easy the Block Captain's running around doing battle raps about your wife. So, and you fight this guy, but you stay with her. So fast forward, he's talking about how she's repeatedly been cheating on him. Repeatedly been cheating. And he said after cheating for so long, he said, you know what, fine. He finally left and he moved out. And that's when he started dealing with Clarissa Shields, who is the undisputed female heavyweight champion of the world, or whatever weight class she's in, which is great. And I'll talk about Clarissa in a little bit. But my whole thing is, I just feel like that announcement should have been made, you know, a little sooner, a lot sooner, so that you're not out here in these streets looking crazy with a woman that's running around with another dude. Going to all these battle raps, standing next to the dude, going to baseball games with the Easy the Block Captain. It's like, hold up, I thought she was with Papoose. Fellas, don't ever be out here in the streets looking crazy, you know, over a woman that you shouldn't even be with to begin with, man. You never catch me with a woman like Remy Ma. Come on, man. She's somebody that you smash. Honestly, I wouldn't even touch her. Me personally, I wouldn't even touch her. You know what I mean? Under any circumstances. Single, not single, whatever the case, drunk, none of that. I would never in a million years, anyone who knows me knows that. I have very fine taste. I would never even think about a Remy Ma, ghetto hood rat type of chick. You feel what I'm saying? But let's fast forward. So where are we at now? So they separate. They've been separated, right? She's dealing with Easy the Block Captain. He's blackmailing her. You know what I'm saying? I guess that ran its course. Now he decided to blackmail Remy. Remy tells Papoose. Papoose is like, yo, is he really blackmailing you? If he is, I'll handle it, because you're the mother of my child. And she's like, nah, you shouldn't have did nothing. You shouldn't have knocked him out. He's like, I knocked him out because y'all were disrespecting me. She's like, well, now because you knocked him out, now I gotta be nice to him so he won't expose these sex tapes I got. That's what Remy said to Papoose. And he's like, well, damn, well, you wouldn't have had to worry about that if you wouldn't have been out here cheating. This is craziness, man. This is all crazy. I can't even believe this. I've never been in any type of drama like this. So Papoose is like, well, hold up. So that's what he said. But Remy says, well, hold up. Don't you be trying to put me out there, because you've been cheating this whole time. He's like, oh, nah. And I told y'all he was cheating. That's what I just told y'all at the beginning of the show. Papoose been cheating. You know what I'm saying? She said as soon as she got out of jail, first thing she did was what? She said she got back to the crib and checked that phone. She started going through the phone. And she said she went through the phone and saw all types of messages and all types of stuff from these other women, and said that she even got into a fight with a few of the women that Papoose was cheating. But who told y'all Papoose was cheating the whole time? Me. I told y'all that. I've been told y'all that. I told y'all that 10 years ago. I think about that, man. Just like I told y'all Will and Jada had an open relationship. I told y'all that 20 years ago. Yeah, people looked at me like I was crazy. I did a Google open relationships, Will and Jada, from 20 years ago. Those were my first shows. I told y'all 20 years ago they were in an open. It wasn't a real relationship. And now look where we're at now. Come on, man. I told y'all 10 years ago, Papoose and Remy, that's fake. Y'all talking about black love. Black love, what? Papoose is cheating. Remy is cheating. Ain't no black love. Listen, guys, I've been married 15 years. Y'all want to look at black love? I'm we're celebrating 15 years in July. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all talking about, black Papoose and Remy? You think that's black love? What y'all talking about, man? So look, so now where we're at is they've both been exposed as cheaters, right? But the difference is, right, people are saying, well, Papoose is wrong for, putting their business out there. Remy did a live video for 80 minutes yesterday. She has been exposing, saying that he's a deadbeat dad. He hasn't seen his kids. He won't file for the divorce. He's been cheating. He's broke. He has no businesses. Like, she's been saying all this stuff about him nonstop. And like I said, I would not have allowed that to happen without me saying my side. But I don't have a problem with him responding to at least let people know, hey, I'm not a deadbeat. I'm not broke. I don't know if he's broke or not, but at least responding to some of these claims that she's making about him. At what point do you just let someone just disparage your name and your reputation? Now, outside of that, I would love for them to just keep everything in-house. I would love for them to just keep it between them. I always tell women specifically, if you've been, what do I always say? If you have been hurt by a man, the best thing you can do is walk away with your head held high and your dignity intact. Never let a man take you out of who you are as a woman. You don't have to stoop down to his level. And I'm not even saying that he was in the wrong here. I'm just saying, in general, ladies, if you get cheated on, just walk away. If you get abused, just walk away. Don't file a lawsuit like Cassie 30 years later. Just walk away. Ain't nobody holding you hostage. Ain't nobody doing none of that. Just walk away. You know what I mean? You don't have to Angela Bassett, burn his clothes in the car. You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to email the chick or pop up at his job. You don't have to do any of that. Because the fact that you're doing that, all it does is make the process for getting over you and moving on with our life easier. You know what I'm saying? So all Remy Ma has to do, she claims she has all the money. She said the house is in her name, the cars, she's the one with the career and all this stuff. Then cool, why are you on IG Live disparaging this man's name? Just walk away. Just walk away. You know what I mean? You shouldn't. I mean, evidently, there was something about him you liked, right? He wasn't all bad when he was hitting it from the back and nasty ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what he was thinking, man. See, a dude like me, I wouldn't even be able to perform. They talking about all these sex drugs. What is it? Rose Sparks, Cameron has the pink horsepower and all this other stuff. None of that will work on me. That would not work on me. There is no drug. There is no stimulant that could make it so that I could be aroused to lay down with a woman like Remy Ma. I'm just being honest with y'all. Just Hilarious, Remy Ma, Cardi B. I don't see how none of these people do it, man. I don't see how they must be nasty dudes, man. They must be a glutton for punishment if they can lay down with a woman like that, man. I mean, like, if a woman is more ghetto or curses more or more masculine than some of these dudes, that's a problem. I don't want no masculine women. Remy Ma, it's probably a tie. It's probably a tie between Just Hilarious and Remy Ma to get the crown for most masculine female. You know what I'm saying? Just absolutely crazy, man. But so Clarissa Shields. Let me talk about. Somebody asked me, what do I think about her? Let me tell y'all this. Let's be clear. that's not going to last either. Mark this date down. You know how I do. You don't need me to really give you my official prediction. I hope nobody thinks that's going to be the new Black Love. I hope you don't think. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Papoose and Clarissa Shields are not going to have a fairy tale happy ending. I'm sorry to be the one to inform you of that. That being said, I like Clarissa Shields. I like her. I don't know if y'all got a chance to hear her on The Breakfast Club. I listened to it. I've seen her in some other interviews, and I mean, she's cool for what it is. You know what I mean? She she's not overly ghetto. She's very motivated. She's very driven in her sport, in her craft. She's not caught up in the drama. She's not out there going back and forth with these women like Remy Ma. She's not nasty. She's just kind of living her life. She said, hey, I love Papoose. We want to be together. I want to have kids with him. I mean, obviously, Papoose would not be the ideal man that I would encourage her to be with. I mean, I think, obviously, clearly he's married still. Clearly he's in a relationship that is in the process of being dissolved. But, for what it is, they say they talk on the phone all day, all night. Okay, cool. But that is she is what I call the epitome of emotionally unavailable. Why do I say that? Well, if you listen to her interview, she talks a lot about how she has anger issues, how until she was 15 or 16, she didn't even know if she liked men at all. They said, were you a lesbian? And she was like, nah, I just didn't like anybody. I had a young woman tell me that, and I should have listened to her. I met her, and she was like, I was like, you got a boyfriend or anything? She was like, no. She was like, I've dated men and women. I said, whoa. I said, so, she's like, but right now I'm not into anybody. I said, what do you mean by that? She was like, I'm asexual. I said, you're asexual? Yeah. She said, yeah, that means I'm not attracted to anyone. I'm not attracted to men or female. I just want to be by myself. I said, okay, that's interesting. I said, but you have sex though, right? You know what I mean? She smiled. And that's the issue that I have. We have so many women out here who they come up with all these terms. I'm pansexual. I'm sex positive and all this other weird crap that is clearly not of God, not biblical. They are every term in the world except celibate. Right? Everything in the world except celibate. Women say, I'm done with men. Oh, you're done with men, huh? Okay. When's the last time you had sex? Oh, I have sex, but I'm not dealing with anybody. What? You know what I mean? Stop using your lack of faith, and stop using your depression mixed with desperation to convince yourself that you don't want love. There's so many women, they're literally struggling with themselves saying, I don't want love. I just want to be by myself. But they're still having sex. I'm telling y'all right now, there's 5,000 people in the group. There's literally close to 5,000. It's like 4,500 and something people in the Friends of the Dedan Tolbert Show group. Why are there only 30 comments on that post about celibacy? I would think if you're celibate, you would be, jumping at the opportunity to brag about that. That's something to brag about. I'm not into being braggadocious, but if you're celibate, you're out here living for God, I would think you would be happy to brag about that. Where the virgins at? Shout out to the couple. I know there's some virgins in the group too. Show yourselves, man. Brag about that. Y'all are the women that we want as men. Not these fast asses out here. Not these ghetto hood rats like Remy Ma, Cardi B. Nobody wants to. We want the celibate women. Let me tell y'all something. Stop allowing social media to make you think you have to be a freak to get love. I don't know what men y'all listen to. Forget all these weirdos. Listen to me. Focus on me. I'm the only one that matters. These other dudes have no idea. I'm the one that's been married for 15 years. Show me somebody who does what I do that's been married for 15 years. Show me someone who gives better advice than me. You're worried about these weirdos, these fake pastors, these fake gurus, fake life coaches. Everybody's fake. I'm the only one that's real. I'm just being honest with y'all. What I'm telling y'all is, and I'm not even saying that in a braggadocious way. The only reason I say that is because I'm the only one that gives biblically based relationship and dating advice. That's what makes me real, not because it's me. It's because my advice comes from the Bible. No one can debate with me. Y'all ever know? No one can debate with me because my advice comes straight from the Bible. Stop letting these men have sex with you. Then you won't have to worry about going on IG Live like Remy Ma to bash your baby dad. You don't got to be mad at your baby dad if you didn't let him smash in the first place. I told you 15 years ago, 20 years ago to keep your legs closed. I said if his story doesn't fit, don't let him hit. I came up with all these catchphrases. Have some class and cover up that ass. Some of y'all listen. Oh, my fault. My bad. Some of these, I told y'all years ago, stop letting these dudes smash. And now y'all want to listen. Now, but it's too late. For many of y'all, you're 45, you're 50 years old. So back, like I said, no. But shout out to Clarissa Shields. I have nothing really bad to say about her. I don't have anything bad to say. She's not ghetto like Remy Ma. You know what I mean? She seems very nice, very sweet. She seems cool. Is it going to? Ironically, I actually think she would make a good mate for a good man. But I have to question Papoose because, bro, you married Remy Ma, so your credibility is a little shot right now, okay? I can't really take anything you say or do seriously. You married Remy Ma. Of all the women you could have married, I look back at some of my relationships in the past, and I'm like, wow, you know, I sure dodged a bullet with that one. I'm sure glad I didn't marry that one, but even that one was 10 times better than Remy Ma, which is crazy. I don't get it, man. Some of these guys are such losers. They sit behind a keyboard and they bash women all day. They sit back and bash women all day. You know, talking about how men want to be single and women aren't this and women aren't that. No, you loser men can't get a quality woman, so you sit back and bash women. The craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, the craziest thing y'all saw it, and I'm going to wrap it up. The craziest thing I think I've ever seen in 20 years, somebody had the audacity, someone who has followed me for many years, 15 years, wrote in my group, she posted in my group, the Friends of the Date October Show group, when did this become a group for bashing women? Y'all saw that. Some of y'all saw that. A lot of y'all saw it. I started to, you know, because I don't do the negativity anymore. It's like, if you are in my group, you should know who I am and what I do by now. And I started to say, you know what, get your ass out of here. But I said, you know what, I'm going to try to approve all the posts that, you know what I mean, that you see. When we had a discussion about it, but the reason why it was shocking, because I really had to think about it. I really am one of the only men out here who does what I do and are, you know, and is focused on helping women. Not just helping women, but specifically focused on helping women find love. That's what I do. I am a life coach, trclifecoaching.com. No one helps women. No one has a podcast specifically designed to help women. No one has done 3,000 shows, over 3,000 shows specifically designed to help women. So what I found is that if is anyone who thinks that the group that I moderate would be for bashing women, just remove yourself, because you clearly don't pay attention to what I do. You clearly have an agenda. And that's the best advice I could give. Just remove yourself. Because there are plenty of other groups specifically dedicated to bashing women. You see them and I see them. That's not what I do. But here's the problem. In order to help women effectively, you have to do what I encourage, which is self-reflect. Ladies, you can't, and so a lot of times it takes men to show you what you have done that has led to the situation you find yourself in. And that's what we have to do. And that's often going to be uncomfortable. Remy Ma has to self-reflect on why she's alone. You know, not go on IG Live talking all big and bad, talking tough about this, that, and the third, but understand, why has Papoose moved on? Why has he moved on with another woman who is 10 times better than she is? Why does she cheat with Easy the Block Captain, who has no teeth? A battle rapper who is not as respected as Papoose, not as popular as Papoose, has no teeth. Like, what are we talking about here? And she will have to live with that. The moral of this story, guys, is to understand no one is going to make excuses for you. You have to self-examine. Hey, this is why I'm in the position I'm in. Even Papoose, he has to look at himself and be like, wow, this is what I could. I, after being married for 15 years, have to look at myself and be like, wow, you know what? These are some things I could have done differently. We all do. Be careful. So I'm just saying this to the single women out there watching this. You're dating. Stop letting these men have sex with you. Right? Sex doesn't have to. You don't have to be a freak in the sheets to get a man. Because that sex, I'm going to tell you something real quick. Eventually, y'all know what I'm talking about. The sex is going to get so good, right? At some point, you like the guy, so you go on a date. You go on a date, so you go on another date. You go on another date, then you're back at the crib. You're back at the crib, you cook him dinner. Okay, great. Now you're cooking dinner. Now you're watching Netflix. Okay, cool. Now you're watching Netflix, and he's rubbing on you. He's massaging you. Next thing you know, you're having sex. You know what I'm saying? You're having sex, and after a certain point, that condom is going to be going by the wayside. The condom is, if it was even on to begin with, it probably wasn't even on to begin with. Y'all know what it is. Do people, let me ask you a question. I've been married for 15 years, so I don't know. Do y'all even use condoms anymore? Like, are people, because Cassie had the sores in her freaking mouth, nasty ass. I told you on the last show, Cassie had sores in her mouth and UTIs in her vagina. So, you know what I'm saying? Unless y'all want to, I mean, does that mean she has herpes now? Like, what are we talking about? Like, do the sores in the mouth go away after a certain point? Does the antibiotics cure the sores in the mouth? Because this dude still kisses her. I'm just trying to understand, man. But you don't want to go that route. If a man is not committing to you, that means he's having sex with other women. So if you're letting him smash raw, ladies, and you're not even his girlfriend, you're not even in a relationship, you're going to get a disease. You're going to be the recipient of the sores on the mouth the same way Cassie has. So that's all I'm saying to y'all, man. Just pick, and again, you know you're not on no birth control. But some of y'all, I'm going to tell y'all what it is. Some of y'all over 30-year-olds, man, y'all act like y'all are real careful about the condom when y'all are in your 20s. You're real careful. But after y'all get to that pre-menopause stage, y'all be like, F it. I ain't having no babies. You know what I'm saying? These tubes are tied or whatever they are. Last time you had your C-section after your 5th kid, you said, yo, doc, tie me up, bro. You said, tie me up. I'm not doing, so you know your tubes are tied. So you meet that nice guy after that first date, after he takes you out. You're letting that sex go down ASAP. You're not even worried about the condom, because you're like, I can't have kids. Oh, he seems like he's cool. He could be my child's stepfather to these badass kids. And you letting them smash wrong. That's dating in 2025. Somebody come on here and tell me I'm lying. Somebody post in the comment that I'm lying. I wish you would. Nobody will comment that I'm lying because y'all all know that what I'm saying is true. The men and nasty asses are out here having sex with these dirty women raw, and y'all fast ass women are allowing these men to bust all up inside you, and then you have the audacity to complain about him being a deadbeat. Oh, he gave me something. Well, you should. Why'd you let him hit wrong? Come on, man. All right, look. Listen. They monetized my account, so I need all y'all to like my page, man. Like the page, Date on Tolbert, Facebook, Date on Tolbert. Add yourself to the Friends of the Date on Tolbert Show group. Comment, like, share, subscribe, all that crap. Follow me at dateontolbertshow.com. Soon, all the podcasts will be exclusively at dateontolbertshow.com. So I appreciate y'all listening in, man. But we got to stop the foolishness, man. We got to stop blaming, men like Papoose. Papoose has to stop blaming women like Remy Ma. Guess what? You picked them. I'll see y'all next time.